Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I see we're out here. We're a little bit late this morning, a lot late this morning. It's 7:10, but I was not going to be defeated, and we were having a little bit of technical difficulties. Somehow, some way, people must not want us to talk about Daniel, but I'm going to talk about Daniel for about 10 minutes, and those of us who miss it can go back and watch the live stream, and those of us who can join can join. I'll give a couple minutes just in case people want to come in, but I'm just actually going to talk a little bit about Daniel today because I don't know why we keep having these difficulties, but I tell you what, we're going to learn a little bit about him, and maybe it's because of who he was and what he represented in the body, in the Bible, and maybe somebody is going to be inspired by his story. And so I just want to say good morning from Greater New Birth Church. I'm Pastor Denise Pitchford, and we are here studying the great characters of the Bible. We have apologized for yesterday and today. We had some technical difficulties, but we are able to get it all repaired, and we'll be here today and tomorrow. We won't be here for the rest of the week because guess what? It's Grace International Fellowship. And so we want to make sure that people are registered and that people will be coming. We have workshops in the morning on Thursday and Friday. We have service Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. And Friday is actually called the Presiding Prelate Night, which is where we hear from our man of God, Bishop R.J. Burt, the Presiding Prelate of Grace International Fellowship. If you have any questions, please make sure to call the church office, and we'll make sure that we get those questions answered for you. There will be somebody at the registration table there tonight. And so I'm just going to spend a couple minutes introducing Daniel, and then tomorrow we will kind of compact who he is. And guess what? I promise this time we'll make sure that we have a CEC that hits Daniel because there's so much stuff about him that we need to learn, right? Okay, so this is lesson 30, and we are talking about Daniel. Now, most people know about Daniel. Why? Because Daniel in the lion's den, right? But there's more to him. There's more to his story, and there's more to his background. And so we'll spend a little bit of time talking about it. Now, the meaning of Daniel's name is Daniel means God is my judge. God is my judge. It's something that every time we talk about what these names mean, they always mean something so deep, right? God is my judge is what Daniel meant. And so his family background is this. I'm coming off of page 132 because Stringfellow breaks it down so easily for us. Daniel was of noble, if not royal blood. We know nothing of his parents, only that Daniel was of the tribe of Judah. So it's interesting how sometimes in the Bible we learn about the characters and we learn about their families and their background, and we know a lot about them. But for Daniel, we don't know anything about his family, but we do know that he comes from noble, if not royal, background, right? And so then at the age of 20, Daniel was taken from Jerusalem to Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, which we learned about last week with Sister Nolita, right? About Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel was young, but had wisdom beyond his age. His aptitude was high in all subjects, especially science. So he was smart. Math, reading, English, his aptitude, his intellect, his smarts, his level of learning was very high. But he was very interested in science. So that's really interesting, right? Like that he was interested in figuring out how things worked, knowing how things worked, making sure that he understood how things worked, right? It says Daniel had a spotless character. He was referred to 3 times as greatly beloved. A lesson for us, right? How do we walk and have a spotless character? When you have a spotless character, people draw to you. They love you because why? Because you are you have integrity. Integrity, compassion, and excellence. Three key things, right? You have integrity. And so people love you. And in this case, Daniel was regarded as greatly beloved. Now, it also says Daniel was indeed a prophetic statement of his day. Jeremiah was a contemporary of Daniel in his later ministry. Daniel pondered the words of Jeremiah 25, 8 through 13, concerning 70 years of captivity. And we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow. We'll talk about the captivity tomorrow. Then it also says Daniel and Ezekiel, both Jews and both prophets, were taken into captive to Babylon. They were prophets of God during the captivity. Even though Daniel was in captivity, there was a note of great birth and breeding about his whole character, says Alexander White, the great English preacher. And so they talk about the fact that, one, he and Jeremiah, he was indeed a prophetic statement. Jeremiah was a contemporary of Daniel. So we'll talk about the connection between the two of them tomorrow as well. And then also it mentions that Ezekiel, Daniel and Ezekiel, both Jews and both prophets, were taken into captive. And even while in captive, Daniel still was able to exude his gift and use his prophetic while they were in captive, taken captive, right? And so it's only been a couple of minutes, but I didn't want to be defeated today. We were definitely going to come on and talk about Daniel. Tomorrow, it's going to be a compact day. You'll learn a lot, probably a little bit about a lot. But I promise you, we'll have a CEC class scheduled for you so that you can catch up on Daniel. Today is a great day to have a great day. Thank you to those of you who are patient and jumped on. Thank you to those of you who are rewatching this at another time. We definitely will see you tomorrow morning at 6:55. Have a great day.